This is yet another iteration of a pond in a greenhouse. The greenhouse is about 2.5 meters wide, and so I'm going to make it the full width of the greenhouse. And I've got there a wooden plinth upon which the frame stands, and I've just sprayed it with wood preserver because I'm fearful it'll rot. Well, I've got water in it. Before I put the water in though, I lined the bottom with newspaper and cardboard, so just in case there are any lumpy bits that come up, it won't go through the liner. The liner is an EPDM liner, it's not the PVC liner. EPDM is much more flexible and easier to work, and you can glue to it more easily. So I've lined it, I've stapled it in position roughly against the wood. You can see where the staples were. Got to cut it roughly, then I'm going to put a capping on the surface just to hold it down. When you make a pond like this, there's always corners and there's folds, and in those folds act as capillary mechanisms. So when you've finished it, right at the top, put an air hole in to stop it sucking water up there, and then eventually losing quite a lot of water through the capillary action out of the pond. I've got the filter working just to prove the case there's no leaks. I've got the filter box outside, and it's entering there, and I've got the pump here and leaving there. So in the winter the water will actually be cooler, which is what I want. I want the water in there to be as cold as possible in the winter for hibernation, short of it being ice, and it'll be nice and warm in the summer, I hope. And again, so the next stage is to fill the sides up with soil, move the soil around, put slopes in it, and put the furniture around with basking areas and ramps and things. Okay, I filled it with water now. I've done the obligatory leak check and found the obligatory leak, which I've fixed. It was on the face of that. I'd put the pipe through where there was a joint, but it was easily fixed. I'm now experimenting how to do the furniture in here. You can see that the soil now, I'm putting the soil back in. There's the wire mesh underneath to stop the vermin getting through, and that's double layer, and in the other bit there was even cement over the top, but this is just double layer chicken. There's a slope there, so I'll be able to climb on the slope and into the pond, but equally this is a big laying area for the turtles, and this will be a walking about area for land type turtles, but also the overflow, and I'll get the rain coming from the gutter up there, so that rain will be coming into the pond, and then overflowing into a wet and marshy miniature pond in here, a container that will hold water and water loving plants. So that's the next stage. The next one is to let it settle down a bit, get the temperature up, and put some plants in. Part of the building process means reaching across and screwing screws in and getting to the other side of the pond. And I found that these boards here, which I've cut to the width, and given that both sides are equally flat with a ridge, means I can put the board across and lean across and do maintenance. It's a very useful and helpful feature, and it also allows for messing about with the furniture in the pond. So I've got a hanging platform there which is underwater, so they can climb onto that from the water, and in there I've got an inverted gutter which sits on the end, and I'll be able to put plants in there, which means that I'll have quite a few areas that'll give visual respite to animals basking over there to animals basking over here. And so the visual breaks are going to be quite important with time if I've got more than 3 or 4 animals in here. Well, I've finished messing around with the arrangement of the furniture now in this pond, and I think this sort of works. Just to reiterate, it's about 9 feet across and about 2.5 feet wide and about 1.25 feet deep. This is for my spotted turtles, and in here I have 4 females and a male, and just as we speak we're getting a male just trying to come out to see what the noise is all about. He's quite a nice male, very black. I like black males, and very dominant, and with this sun coming out he's all over the females, and they spread around in here to get away from his attentions. So just to show you where they are. One of the girls is hiding there on the island, and he's trying to get at her, but the arrangement with the greenery means he couldn't get at her. He did try though, he did try. They can get out of the ponds and onto the land area, which has got a couple of puddles, and in that puddle there's a turtle, and here you can see another female that's climbed out to get away from his attentions. That's 2 spot, and in that puddle there is one of her daughters. So there we have it. Quite a big land area for them to walk around and to hide if they want, and I've seen them hidden behind that fern. And over there I have a sloping bit of soil, hopefully later on in the year, for laying eggs. I should point out that the glass here is low iron glass, so that sunlight can pass through 50% of the UV, and on the roof I've got acrylic panels which pass over 80% of UV. So hopefully with this horrible spring we've had, I've moved them into here to get some heat, and hopefully we'll have some success. I'll leave this male here for another few weeks until he's done his business and seen to all the girls, and then I shall move me outside. I love how black he is. And he's got a massive tail, so I'm hoping that he can do the business. I've had him now for a few years. All of these animals I can trace back to Elmar Meier in Germany, way back in the 80s. I got him from Elmar Meier some 6 years ago, and there's a female coming up behind him, but she won't stay long, I suspect. She's come up. They can hear me talking, and I think she's come up to see what all the fuss was all about. think that's 2 spot. What I like about these animals, they've got a really nice red chin, orangey red chin, and I think they're remarkable for it. I've got a sticky tripod. Well, there you are. That's their new home.
Life without spotted turtle is possible, but senseless.